freaking check 1 2, check 1 2. Hey, freaking you who's? We're gonna go about talking about Major General John Lejeune, his impact on the Marine Corps, from the point of building the foundation of a professional green machine killing fighting force, and adding that foundation for all devil dogs to be the tip of the spear in all the armed forces of the United States. All statements said do not represent any official capacity or any realness of government claims. Everything does not represent the DoD, the Department of Defense, or the DOW, Department of War, as a legal disclaimer. Please do not take this as any official information or capacity. This is strictly a historical debrief. Over. Now let's go to the middle game and let's get this freaking background cooking. Game capture. This captures the window. This one. Okay, that is odd. Wait, nope. This one. Cancel. Here. Here's the debrief. Yep. Check. We gotta go. Perfect. So we're gonna talk about Major General John Lejeune. Is, as myself, legally, technically of the United States Marine Corps, understanding the lineage of Major General John Lejeune is a core component for my own professional identity. His leadership codified the discipline, the mental endurance, how I apply the chess theory, and also overall for my master theme. Let's talk about John Lejeune. I'm gonna just call him Major General Lejeune, out of formality and respect for that motivator, that killer, in the highest of discipline. So, early years is this. Joined January 10th, 1867 in Pointe-Coupee, Paris, Louisiana. His education graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1888. The tradition, after 2 years of sea duty as a midshipman, he was committed as a second lieutenant, good old-fashioned butter bars in the Marine Corps in 1890. You can't spec for lost out LT. Sad. Nah. Let's get back on topic. His legacy is this. He was known as the greatest of all Marines. He served as the 13th Commandant of the Marine Force from 1920 to 1929. This is the military service and career. Spanish-American War. He served aboard U.S. ship station Cincinnati during the conflict. Ex-military service. Commanded Marine battalions in Panama in 1903, Cuba in 1911 through 1912, participated occupation of Veracruz, Mexico in 1914. World War I leadership, or the big one. Lejeune achieved the historical distinction of being the first Marine officer to command an Army division, leading the 2nd Division during the offensive in St. Mihiel in the Battle of Backwall Match Ridge. And Marine Corps schools. As a commandant, he established Marine Corps schools in Quantico, Virginia, installing a blueprint for formal officer education. One of the most important things that General Lejeune has made is his birthday message in order number 47. Series 1921, on November 1st of 1929, Major General John A. Lejeune, the 13th Commandant of the United States Marine Corps, issued Marine Corps Order number 47, a formal directive mandating that the official Marine Corps' birthday message would be read to every command globally on November 10th each year to commemorate the Marine Corps' founding in November 10th, 1775. So, this is the message verbatim. On November 10th, 1775, a Corps of Marines were created by the resolution of Continental Congress. Since that date, a generous soul has been given to his country, the body of an eagle, the spirit of a lion, and the heart of a tiger. He has gone forth to give his life and his all for his flag and of his country. In memory of them and who we are now, in the service of the Marine Corps, we have served in that Corps, should remember the idols for which they fought and for which they died. On this day, I say again this day, we should remember the great deeds of the past and the great men of the past. So we shall have resolved to carry on those ideals into the future, to the end of the Marine Corps may be the pride of our country and defenders of our liberties. So, let's analyze this. Lejeune utilized a specific rhetorical hooks that aligned with my theme, and how I was inspired from him. Frames the Marine as a composite of an eagle, a lion, and a tiger, demanding an animalistic ferocity, where the glass goes comes in blood, and blood, but is on the other hand tempered with discipline of the great men of the past. And it has a clinical result. He doesn't ask for salvation, he mandates a resolution and carries on the ideals to the tradition, to the future. This is a terminal commitment to excellence. This message is tense, formal, and designed to be read in the position of attention, matching a briefing room persona. How to summarize this: Major General John Lejeune's primary contribution to the United States Marine Corps was the application of structural discipline. The ability to make a mean, green, killing professional organization to a structural, disciplined machine, making civilians into killers, into machines, into freaking Marines, the freaking motivators, the freaking devil dogs, the freaking all those who have died, which I'm going to point out to the messages later. Discipline is the virtue, and it makes the hallmark of a Marine. Discipline and spirit. To be honest in everything that you do, to respect your orders, to obey your seniors, and to strive in excellence in everything you have done. Quickly, willingly, and without freaking question. Impact represents the ultimate exercise of variable reduction. This structural discipline transformed the collection of excavator units into a tight, mean, green killing machine, into a professional, into a lethal organization, harnessing the highest morale, professional conduct, highest of standards, and showing empathy, compassion, fairness, and dignity. General Lejeune's legacy established the highest military virtues for every standard for a freaking Marine. Number one is a professional killing organization. Through the establishment of the Marine Corps skills, Lejeune created a blueprint for high integrity combat effectiveness, ensuring the Corps was recognized as the premier fighting force, the 911. Anything happens, you go ahead and call that Marine Corps, get it, go, and we're going to take care of that. Through brute force, blood, death, and tears, through overt ops, or through covert ops, which never could be classified and has plausible definability. The hierarchy of integrity. He codified the culture of obedience and respect for seniors, and reinforcing the chain of command as a structural foundation of the hallmarks of the service. The process of going to your sergeant, going to your freaking SCO, then him going to his staff NCO, then him going to his freaking company gunnery sergeant, and him going to gunnery sergeant, going to freaking their first sergeant, and then first sergeant going to sergeant major, and then command sergeant, and then we can go to division sergeant major, battalion sergeant major, all different types of chain of command. And understanding to work your way bottom to the top, unless in very few circumstances, which will unfortunately have to be to use a request maps, but let's digress. Next point is the pursuit of excellence. Lejeune mandated, General Lejeune mandated, Major General Lejeune mandated that Marines strive for excellence in every endeavor, using discipline as a restriction but an engine to performance. Spirit and hallmark. He defined the spirit of a Marine as the body of a lion, a heart of a tiger, an essential quality to uphold the Corps' reputation, have the highest of morale, and have the hallmark of an aggressiveness of an eagle, a lion, an authorization, and quietness, but also the heart of a tiger as taking care of its own daughter. Tender, compassionate, merciful, morale at its highest form. Never lying, never cheating, never stealing, never compromising, and never betraying their country. So, let's talk about earning the title, or holy vestiges. To Lejeune, the title Marine was not given, it was earned. It was a statute only attained by absolute discipline and resilience, and its transformation into a civilian, into a Marine, and turning your EGAs. So, to make a big disclaimer, I do not claim to earn the title Marine. By only so I said a legal standpoint of that technically I'm a veteran. I will never claim that title Marine because I have not earned it yet. An active pursuit of re-enlisting and earning the title, got 8 weeks in, and unfortunate personal things happened in the past. The point is that I do not have a right to say and claim that title to myself. They have earned it in the past, and which I'm striving to do now, over for 2 years, ever since May 13th of 2024, until July 2nd of 2025. And the great deeds of the past is this: by establishing annual birthday messages, he ensured every Marine tethered to the glorious history of their predecessors and future fuel excellence. Meaning this: I'm going to make extremely clear, I do not claim that I earned the title of Marine. We were talking about from a legal and specification from a legal standpoint. Nothing further. As long as you track him. Major General Lejeune promoted the highest integrity brand built on formal doctrine and mental stamina. He took a loosely defined role Marine and transferred it into a clinical professional identity that this country always needs and demands excellence. So here's the final debrief. We're going to talk about the meaning of taps and the duty of remembrance. Where's my freaking water? In this video, there is going to be no call to action to any of my websites or to the SDS Forge Backwards method. This is a video honoring the fallen and the legacy of the Marine Corps and the value of military history. Taps is not merely a song, it's a clinical symphony at the end of the day. A showing of the finality of life. An origin is a masterclass in the quiet game. The origin is this: 1862, during the American Civil War, Union General Daniel Butterfield felt the standard of lights out bugle call was too formal and too lacked the sympathy, emotional needing for the camp in mourning, from all their comrades dying in blood for their country, even though it was nation versus nation, sadly, in the Civil War. The composition is this: working with Bolger, Olives, Wilcott, Norton, Butter revised an earlier chord into a 24-note melody we know today. It was first played to honor a fallen soldier in line of the tradition of a three-volley salute, which had been signals to the enemy that the battle was commencing. The tradition, much like our tradition from the middle game to the end game, taps emphasize the tradition from the noise of battle to the silence of peace. So why we must never forget anybody in active duty, or anyone who believes in patriotism or studies military history, a veteran obligation, a motivator, or people who are looking or are in the depot or want to actually join the armed forces. This is the this is the holy veil. A foundation of the title Marine is a holy vestige brought with the blood of those before you. To forget those who devalue the title you may currently hold in active duty, or the title you still hold for the rest of your life if you're a veteran. Or even legally myself, but technically, keyword technically, by a legal standpoint have. General Lejeune's message maintained the blueprint and resolved the core, remaining to the pride of our country. What I'm proud of this country for is for the Marine Corps' history, military history, and the value and the wisdom behind it. If we carry those ideals of those who die, and we teach it to our children, and teach it to the people in this generation, this country has hope. And also Jesus Christ, too. The only hope. In clinical continuity. In chess, I study great deeds of the past, master games, former world chess champions, really good players like Paul Murphy, Capablanca, frickin' Magnus Carlsen, Viciana, Vladimir Kramnik, frickin', let's see, Kari Nakamura, we're talking all the highest standards of chess. Emmanuel Lascar, frickin' fourth world chess champion, Alexander Alekhine, the fifth world chess champion, frickin' was, who beat Alekhine? Oh, we can talk about Bobby Fischer, Mikhail Tal. We could talk about frickin' what's his name? Persian. I have the ninth world chess champion. I have a hard time forgot his third name. Lord have mercy. But understanding the masters of chess and who have put it in their and made their own branch of legacy and value and history to chess, it's the same way in the military. You study the fall and restore the sacrifices never in vain into their tactical lessons to preserve for future generations. The same way in chess. While often playing communities, you have to think about it like this. The day is gone. Gone the sun. From the lake, from the hills, from the sky. All is well and God is nigh. Sacrifice is the ultimate price for resilience and mental toughness. Major General Lejeune understood that a professional organization is only strong in its memory. Without that heart and the tiger displayed by those who died, the Corps would never be another collection of men. Would just be another collection of men, not an elite force. So, here's the Wall of Honor into 15 Marines and preferred virtue. To be in line with this, Lejeune's birthday doctrine recalled the generous souls who gave their life and for everything for their flag, and which I would always be willing to do. Die for my country with no questions asked. In active duty, as a tactical veteran, or even as formerly as a civilian, with no questions, and we're going to talk about those great deeds to resolve and carry into the future. Name and rank, conflict, and the brief history of sacrifice, the foundation of discipline. As if you know the freaking boot camp Diddy knowledge of two Marines, 2 medals, it would be Dan Daly, Smith, and Butler. It would be private because in the current time when we received his first honor, he was a private. Sergeant Major Dan Daly, as literally a freaking boot, worked his way up to a sergeant major, the highest enlisted rank in the Marine Corps that you are able to get. A 2-time medal honor recipient, Bellwood, charged Marine gunmen yelling with nothing but a 45 and grenades, yelling a furious war cry to his men. Number 2, the classic Gunnery Sergeant John Basilone, World War II in Guadalcanal, hell of a Japanese regiment, which is, I believe it's more than 3 battalions put together, because it's around, do the math later. With 2 machine guns for 48 hours, he died leaving Marines off at the beach of Iwo Jima. Number 3, Corporal Jason Dunnan, Iraq. He saved his squad from a grenade. He covered it with his own helmet in his body. He earned the first Medal of Honor in the Iraq War. Number 4, Sergeant John Lane Canty, Vietnam, during the Battle of Hue City, house to house, street to street. He repeatedly moved to fire to carry wounded Marines to safety and took command when the officers fell, showing the embodiment of the NCO creed and the sacrifice and what real leadership is, to be in the suck and to do everything to keep a devil dog alive so he can kill 10 more and remove the enemy, but no more, and only peace until America is truly victorious. Number 5 is Private First Class Kyle Carpenton, Afghanistan. He threw himself on a grenade to save a fellow Marine. Survived with life-altering energy, embodying the heart of the tiger. Number 6, Corporal Jonathan Portful, Afghanistan. A silent architect of discipline in his unit, killed in action in Helmand Province while providing high security for his squad. Sergeant Raoul Perleta, Iraq. Carrying a house-to-house clearing in Fallujah, the battle in Fallujah, though mortally wounded, he pulled a grenade under his body to save his fellow Marines and destroy the enemy. Number 8, Staff Sergeant Recluse, Korea. Through a house, she was promoted to Staff Sergeant for her resilience. She carried ammunition under fire and honored among the enlisted dead. Number 9, Private First Class Robert Millen. Through Army, his action alongside Marines showed the spirit of alliance. He stayed behind to support suppressing fire so his team can escape. Number 10, Afghanistan, Sergeant Dakota Meyer, re-enlisted about a year ago. Defied orders and entered a kill zone 5 times, directed Chapter Marines and soldiers recovering the bodies of his father and brothers. And also, those who were enlisted. Now, let's go to the officers. Number 11, Major General John Lejeune. He died through natural causes, where you include him as a primary officer who gave his life to the Corps, and was the true definition of a lifer. Literally, gave everything for his country. Number 12, Captain Guilford Coffey, Vietnam. Gerald Coffey, Vietnam. 7 years as a POW. POW means prisoner of war, mental toughness and endured a blueprint for survival, and all for captured service members. Number 13, First Lieutenant Balmaro Lopez, Korea. Photographed sailing the seawall in Icheon. Seconds later, he found a grenade he was prepared to throw to save his platoon. 14, Major Douglas A. Zimby, Iraq. Known as the Lion of Fallujah, he was killed leading a raid, and he lived by the critical code of discipline, and he was a hero to his men. Number and finally, Second Lieutenant John P. Bobo. After his leg was severed by a mortar, he jammed, stuck onto the dirt to stop the bleeding and stayed behind cover his platoon's lead, laying suppressing fire as his leg was ripped off to get to allow his platoon to escape. These individuals achieved a terminal state of Marine Corps virtue. They proved if one can attain the discipline that General Lejeune spoke of, they can earn a place in the glorious history of the Corps. They are the ultimate example of a variable reduction, choosing a serpent noble, heading over the chaos of cowardice. Here's the final note. Lieutenant General Jesse B. Puller is the ultimate human personification of the Marine, and also my master's theme. He didn't play the quiet game. He mastered the entire spectrum of tactical entropy. As the most decorated Marine in history, his life serves as a definitive blueprint for resilience and mental toughness. Should we go into this? Screw it, let's do it. Let's go. The architect of the Marine legend, early life and discipline. Born in West Point, Virginia in 1898, Puller was raised from the stories of the great deeds of the Civil War generals. He was attending the Virginia Military Institute but left to join the Corps in 1918, the same year as Alpha May Johnson did, the first Marine that ever enlisted and went to Parris Island and recruit training. Seeking direct engagement in the chaos of battle. Nicknamed Chesty, derived from the barrel-chest physique and the booming authoritative voice, which could be heard from miles over the noise of combat, serving as the clinical, cynical command to his men. If I was ever allowed to use the loudest command voice I could have, I can only admire how much better it is than mine. Puller's career, Lieutenant General Puller's career spanned 37 years and multiple high-stakes conflicts. One for off Archibald Henderson, which was around 37 to 38, and ensured a tournament outcome against superior forces. The Banana Wars, Nicaragua and Haiti, earned his first Navy crosses, landing a constabulary force through 40-plus engagement. He was clinical in the pursuit of rebels, mastering guerrilla warfare from the front lines, embodiment of the Revolutionary War, and the asymmetrical warfare that General George Washington taught to the Marine Corps and the Continental Congress, or the Continental Marines, it was called before November 10th of 1775, showing the highest of standards and learning from such an old and holy general, who became the first president of the United States, and was the only ever general of the entire armed forces. I believe in 1957, according to U.S. federal regulations, that was officially mandated. 1957, I believe, but I will find some cited work to back that up. World War II, the Pacific Siege, Guadalcanal, defended Henderson Airfield against overwhelming Japanese forces, earning his third Navy Cross. Palumi led his 1st Marine Regiment in some of the most brutal fighting in the war, seizing the heart of the enemy's defense, a new Borgo Ridge. That's in reference to World War II. The Korean War. The Frozen Squeeze. Incheon Landing commanded the 1st Marines during the surgical amphibious landing, chosen reservoir, faced to 10 Chinese divisions. While surrounded in sub-zero temperatures, he famously stated, "We've been looking for the enemy." It just gets me so fucking motivated in my dick hard. For some time now, we finally found him. We're surrounded. That simplifies things. What the hell does that mean? That either we're gonna kill all of them, or they're gonna kill all of us. And he had no doubt in his mind, and an abdominal spirit, and the spirit of the Corps on the inside of him, to say that he's gonna kill the entire 10 divisions with his team. Destruction. Saying this is simplification. He earned his first Navy Cross for this masterful breakout, doing the impossible and going through the suck. Puller is the only Marine to ever earn 5 Navy Crosses. His total valor award includes 5 Navy Crosses, the second Hammer of a Distinguished Service Cross, which is basically the Army equivalent, 1 Civil Star, and 2 Legions of Merit. Puller's impact created a tight professional killing organization that is the hallmarks of the Corps. The lean from the front, unwavering integrity, and the silent architect. He refused any luxury not afforded to his men, showing high integrity and morale even at the worst conditions. Unwavering integrity stood his ground against superior, regardless of ranks. He felt the blueness of the mission was flawless. He understood an unwavering place of knowing combat and tactics and saying, okay, my superior is wrong, I don't give a frick about the rank. I will keep my men aligned and get the mission done. And understood if he felt that the blue front in the mission was flawed and had evidence. And the silent architect, even after Longest death, all Marines at least have said once, "Goodnight, Chesty, wherever you are," or do one extra pull-up for him to maintain structural discipline to establish. When you're absolutely done, do one more. You can do anything in the first 5 minutes, get it done. That is the discipline that Lieutenant General Chesty will us, but embody it or continue to regret your life. So, to summarize, Chester was a human version of a 94% accuracy game. He viewed being surrounding not as a loss, but an ultimate simplification of the board. He lived by that code of discipline and is the gatekeeper of the holy title, Marine. So, be like him, and if you ever think about enlisting, do your military history and do your research, and contact a recruiter. I will not have any opinions on what you should do or what you shouldn't do, but I'll leave you with one. It was the best personal decision I ever made. And making that choice and building the foundation, allowing myself to be transferred from a civilian to the Marine mindset. So, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Not even gonna ask for anything. I'm not gonna ask you to like, comment, subscribe, or any of that trash. Don't. If you don't want to, don't. If you do, please do. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. Goodbye.